Hello there, my beautiful thinking people. Listen, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I sincerely hope that your New Year is amazing and full of all the promise that you've been looking for. So someone asked me if I was secretly using my steering wheel behind the hidden barriers of the camera. So I've tried to adjust the camera to a point where you can see them, which means that the camera will not be as steady because it's further back and it's hanging loose, let's say. So we're going to see how well it's going to do. It's had a little warts and hiccups this morning. I did a double scroll wheel reset just to see, and I will be having it checked at the brand new largest Tesla facility in all of Canada, which has just been built at Lime Ridge Mall up on the mountain. And actually, you know what? Let's take a ride over there, because I have not actually yet gone and seen the size of this. So let's see what I can do. And I'll let you know. Oh wow, it's not even in here yet. What the? Wow. Somebody was in my passenger seat in a messy eater and put some icing sugar or something on the screen. And here we go. So we're going to do a quick little trip over to the showroom at Lime Ridge. And let's see if we can get back on track here, Tessie. I'd like to do the no intervention drives again like we used to do. It's weird because some days it's absolutely amazing and perfect, and then other days it just likes to go crazy. Like that first tiny little hiccup there is the little jitter in the wheel. That they were trying to remove by code for a long time, and they did get it pretty right, but it seems to be going again. Just so you know, Tesla navigation, I hope somebody is listening who can get this information to you guys. The navigation routes that are taken are oftentimes totally wrong. Like, not wrong as in you can't get to your destination, but wrong as in they're taking the totally wrong route. So on this drive, folks, I want to tackle another subject and another topic of discussion. And again, as you know, most of my discussions are a little controversial, and that won't change now. A little bit of jitter there. It could be because it was hesitant about the pedestrian that wasn't sure which way she was going. Okay, so the only interjections I'll do is when something either not good happens with FSD or something great happens with FSD. So, my topic of discussion is absolutely not the one that I did in my last video. So what I want to talk about now is the media, the mainstream media, not alternative or independent media. We're talking about the people who've been established for years and years and years and seem to be under some sort of pressure. Now again, I'm going to try my best to keep my videos as unbiased as possible, and I'm going to try to just stick to the facts. So the facts are this. A lot of times, people are complaining about the fact that when they listen to the mainstream news, it seems like we're living in an alternative universe where we see something that is completely clear and obvious, and then we hear the mainstream news report on it, and it's completely ambiguous. totally off the cuff, negative spins, crazy narratives, and you look at it, and you know when a dog looks at you sideways because it's not sure what noises you're making. We all seem to be looking at the mainstream media that way every single day. It's a confusing scenario to have to listen to things that are telling you, don't believe what you're seeing, don't believe what you're hearing, don't believe the noise, the hype, don't believe any of that. You need to believe us. There's nothing to see here. Or there's lots of great stuff to see, and still they say, oh, what are you talking about? Nothing to see here. So folks, just remember, I work off of your feedback. So comments are extremely important. And listen, we're not a big channel. We just started out, and I'm hoping that we are going to get your engagement to the point where we can have topics to reply to, things to look up. I want to do all the research for you so you don't have to, but I need your input. So, mainstream media, it looks like some of them are heading towards bankruptcy right now. And as we know, almost all of them are owned by the same corporations and then the same people at the top of those corporations. So, we have to wonder, what is going on with the financing or finances within these big corporations that own everything? I have in the past, and I urge you to look up the chart that shows the ownership of all the media companies all the way up through the chain of ownership to the top. Just look that up for yourself, because me giving an opinion just isn't viable, okay? So from what I understand, there are very few people at the top that own the corporations, that own the media. So 90 some odd % of all media is owned by the same group of people. Do you think that they may be trying to paint a narrative that serves their purpose? Answer me in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Because in my opinion, it's just not right. To have a country ruled by a media empire that tells you what to think. Now, let me just tell you the stats that I've been uncovering here. Apparently, the best place to get your news, all of your news, is on X. Now, I would like to spend more of my time on X. It's just I don't think I have the tools yet to be able to publish properly right to X. But if I can, I will. And I'm hoping that eventually I will be able to migrate 100% over to X, because you know who has not been playing fair with me at all. I've been censored, I've been slowed down, I've had just so many number of actions that have made things very, very difficult for my channel to get up and move. So folks, we need you to patronize all the independent media sources you can find, because these people are working on a shoestring budget, and they are trying their best to get you the most accurate, responsible news that they can get to you. And honestly, I've been listening to news from CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, all of these different stations forever. And I can tell you now, every time I listen to them, it almost makes you want to vomit. There is such a lack of challenge to any guests that are on the show. And this is why the guests keep coming back, because, yeah, they just get to say whatever they want to say, and nobody challenges them. And we are all misinformed on the regular. So here's one thing I'd like to bring to your attention. Anytime you hear the mainstream media talk about Tesla, I would say believe 5% of what they say. And it's usually not the most negative 5%. I'm sure you all heard that a Cybertruck just exploded outside the Trump establishment. Just exploded for no reason at all. It just kaboom. Horribly built machine. And we really need to get some, we need responses from Elon, right? We gotta find out, whoa, what the hang is going on here, Elon? Okay, so apparently the individual who was deceased inside the vehicle is supposed to be the person who perpetrated this horrible act or fell victim to a Cybertruck. Well, if you look at the mainstream headlines, you would totally believe that they fell victim. But when we look at more of the facts, we find out, wait a second. Did you see the explosion? It didn't come from underneath where the battery sits. It came from the vault. What's in the vault that would do that? Oh, right, nothing, just air. Unless it was packed with something. Did you see what the explosion looked like? It was fireworks going everywhere. Did you see those fireworks? They were just exploding all over the place. It was like the 4th of July. Did any of those news sources let you know that that explosion would have caused massive damage, way more than what was shown, if it had been any other vehicle? Other than a tank, of course, because the Cybertruck basically is a tank. Most of that explosion was contained inside the vault. As a matter of fact, I believe Elon and some people at the factory or administration said, yeah, we'll just take it back, buff out any of the little scratches and stuff, and that thing will be up and running again. After an explosion like that, is it any wonder that the battery did not even catch fire, but yet they made it out to be that the Cybertruck's battery just exploded? And even with the explosion that was perpetrated inside the vehicle, there was no battery fire whatsoever. Now I'm sure had it kept going long enough and generated enough heat, it may have penetrated a cell or two and made a start of a chain reaction, but it seems unlikely at this point when you see how well that was contained. If it wasn't for the Cybertruck, there could have been a whole lot more damage and injury. Folks, mainstream media is passé. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of independent reporters going out there, digging up real facts and giving us the truth. Because right now, the truth is becoming what we would call subjective. When it comes to mainstream media, there's no objective truth anymore because everything is ambiguous. You can say, that car is actually a truck. No, that truck is actually a car. Wait a second, that building's not a building. It's just a lean-to. Well, why would you call it a lean-to? Because when the wind blows, it does a little bit of leaning to the east or the west or the north or the south. So we're going to call that big skyscraper now a lean-to because you subjectively want to tell me it's a lean-to? Folks, we need to get ourselves under grips. We need to start being more objective, more cynical, more questioning of what people are telling us is the truth. Soft intervention here. I'm going to move it into this left lane because there is a way to get into the mall, which is off of this lane, and I don't want to be battling traffic when we get over there. So this is something I think is getting fixed with version 13, which I wish I had, because version 13 apparently looks way further ahead and is able to make decisions based on what's coming. That would be so nice to have. We'll see what happens when 12.6 gets released. Right now I'm still on 12,543. Okay, so as we've heard, mainstream news is not to be relied on, and I mean not at all. Now I think I'm gonna have to take over here, but we'll see. Whoa, what the hang was that? Okay, now I see what happened. Because I couldn't put in the actual Tesla showroom, it is taking me right to the main entrance of Limeridge Mall. So I'm going to take over at right over here, because it's going to go the opposite way to where I want to go. Nice, they put a nice Tesla logo there. But that's going to mislead people to think that they could go right in there. Wow, some people's children, eh? Okay, let me end this trip. This is the way home, Tessie, right here. Have no fear. We're going to get you there. Not sure if this is part of their store as well. It seems like it would be a smart idea, though. Oh, they got to do a lot of work on this building over here. Okay, there she be. Okay. Well, I was under the impression that this whole side over here was going to end up being the Tesla showroom, because there used to be an Active Green and Ross there, so I figured they would just renovate that whole thing and make it a much nicer unit. Oh, look at they got all the chargers that are going in there. The problem I have with one of these with chargers here is that I ended up at a beautiful Tesla showroom in Mississauga, and they had all these chargers there. So I stopped to go in, I plugged in, and when I came out, I found out that they'd shut it off, because it was working, but then they shut it off. I don't understand that, Tesla, because if I were you, I'd send a directive to your showrooms that when it comes to somebody stopping by Tesla to get information or to pick up a part or to buy something or to claim a delivery, for them to take 5 to 10 cents of your electricity plugged in, I find that very petty to turn it off. Anyway, so this would have been an intervention-free drive if we had this specific location that was in our nav, but instead we don't. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that trip and that intervention-free trip. Again, I only intervened because it was going to the main entrance of the mall, and I needed to come over here to show you guys the new establishment. Next leg of the trip. Let's see how she does. Nice occupancy network. Come on, Tessie, you can do it. Obviously, because that vehicle's out in the roadway. It's not liking this situation. And there goes the jerk and jitter. In the parking lots, this is a regular thing, where the wheel just keeps jerking until it completes a turn or a task. Now, come on, it has a stop sign. For the other guy, it has a stop sign. Okay, there's another intervention. I had to hit the accelerator because it just didn't understand what's going on here. And right now, we're straddling 2 lanes. So, third intervention, I had to use the signal to get it into the proper lane. Stopping was a little bit too abrupt there. Takeoff was a little abrupt, but that's because the person behind us appeared to FSD to maybe want to go through us without stopping. So I forgive that one. And here comes that individual once again. But luckily we are in a lane that, oh boy. Some people need to know that driving fast, although the person who's driving fast may think that they are actually looking like a good driver, it doesn't actually appear that they are. Driving fast is only a way to cover your mistakes. And too fast. Well, thank you. Too fast for the speed bump, and then it kind of stopped abruptly for the stop sign. Now, when it comes to straddling of the lanes, these lanes are faded, but that's not supposed to affect FSD. FSD is supposed to be able to measure the area and anticipate what's where and why. We're actually following the speed limit, which is extremely slow. Anyway, so you're seeing the warts firsthand. Oh, I'm gonna take over. FSD totally skipped 2 lanes and entered the wrong lane. Okay, let's put her back on and see if she can complete the rest of this trip. Oh. And we know that this version does not respond to lights and sirens. Okay, folks, just to finish off the media thing, I would hope that all of us are from the 1585 group, and being that as it may, I would hope that nobody would have the wool pulled over their eyes anymore by these individual companies run by individual CEOs who are puppeted by individual corporations that are much higher than they are. If you put most of these news channels together and listen to their narratives, it's almost like they are all reading off the exact same script. There are a lot of media companies out there, and I cannot see them, even though they want to change the narratives around the world, I can't see them actually taking the time to make each script individualized. I can't see it. And therefore, we will always know when they are just talking out their blowhole. Folks, listen, I respect and love you all. I bring you information that I believe is pertinent and relevant in your lives and mine. And if it's not relevant in yours, at least think about how relevant it would be to your children or your grandchildren and so on and so forth. Okay? Anyway, you take care. Happy New Year again. And you know what? Please stay safe, stay healthy, and above all, stay as happy as humanly possible. And hey, remember, we never give up, we never give in, but we keep an open mind. And the reason we do that is so we can gather knowledge. Knowledge being the only power we will ever have. Nicely handled here, FSD. going around the police who are obviously in search of somebody on the wrong side of the road, stopping beside each other and having a chat. And don't think it's a frivolous chat. I saw another police officer go that way. Interesting end to our chat, folks. Take care, love you all, and we shall talk soon.